What is History Fair? If you have tuned into this video, you would like an answer to this question. What is History Fair, also known as NHD or National History Day? If you are watching this video, you are one of three different groups of people. You are involved in one of these three. Number one, you're a student, a middle school or a high school student. And you were sitting in class today in your social studies class, and your teacher said to you, I have a new assignment for you, History Fair. And you say to your teacher, okay, what is that? And they say, well, it's going to be this little project, and I'll give you more information about it later. Okay. You go home tonight and you sit at the kitchen table, right? And your mom says to you, hey, little Jimmy, what did you do in school today? That's the second group of people who want to know the answer to this question. What the heck is History Fair, right? The parents. So little Jimmy says, it's a project, Mom. And you say, okay, well, what type of project? And you say, I don't know. Hey, little Jimmy, can you work with me here a little bit more? What did your teacher say? Well, you said it was a research project. Is this your history teacher? Yeah, this is my history teacher. Okay, well, that sounds interesting. What details did they give you? I don't know. Okay. So your mom decides, well, I guess I'm going to have to get a hold of your teacher. Which brings us to the third group of people who might be asking this question. What the heck is History Fair? Perhaps you're a brand new teacher. Perhaps you're new to the school or you're new to the district. Perhaps your district has just adopted this program. Perhaps nobody at your school knew about this program and just found out about it. But you discovered you have to have your students do a History Fair project. And you don't know anything about it. So you ask your administrator, you ask your department head, your district department head, what is History Fair? And they tell you, well, it's this big research project. And you say, oh, great, can I get some more information? And they tell you, everything you need is on nhd.org. Go find it. And now you're completely confused. All three of those groups of people are completely confused, and that's why you're here today. And my mission is try to explain to you what is History Fair. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. Why is this old guy talking to me about History Fair? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Roger Heffron, and I have been a middle school U.S. history teacher for the last 14 years. I am just recently retired, and I have been a History Fair judge for the Pasco County, Hernando County, and the state of Florida for years now. And I am immersed in History Fair. This week I just finished judging those two counties, and this is all fresh in my mind, and I figured, you know what I should do? I should make a video, a series of videos to explain History Fair. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a course, an entire course on how to successfully create a History Fair project. When I have that done, there'll be a link in the description below. Okay, so what is History Fair? Well, it's a competition, and it's open to every middle school and high school age student in the United States of America. It is open to public school students. It's open to parochial schools and private schools and charter schools and homeschool students. It's open to every school age, every middle school and high school age student in the United States of America. And it starts at the local level, right? I start this competition in my classroom. I have all my students working on this project, and I choose the best projects to go to the school competition. And then in my school, we hold the competition, and all the teachers bring their best projects from their classes, and we have a school competition. The best projects from the school competition go to the local competition. In the state of Florida, that would be our school districts run by the counties. So they would be the county competition. And again, the best projects in the local competition then go to the state competition. And the state competition is going to take place usually near the state capitol. And it is the best projects within the state. And at that point, then they go to the national competition. The national competition in Washington, D.C. showcases the absolute best projects all around the country. And that is what this, kind of the basic idea of what this project is. It is a competition. All right, so up to this point, your teacher can probably help you with this. Up to this point, this might be where you lose your kids. Up to this point, the student probably knows what's going on. But beyond this, this is where it starts to get a little bit cloudy. What else is History Fair? It's a research project. Okay, well, what exactly does that mean? Well, it is a research project on a topic that you choose. It's a topic that the student chooses. I like to tell my students, pick a subject that you already have an interest in. If you're passionate about baseball, then your History Fair project should be about baseball. You want to be able to do a project on something that is of interest to you. If it's of interest to you, you'll want to do it. You'll want to find out more information. You'll want to spend time working on something that's actually of interest to you. So it is a topic that interests you. There's a theme that goes with it. Every year, a National History Day changes the theme. This year, it is Revolution, Reaction, and Reform. So the topic has to fit with the theme. Sometimes that can seem like a challenge, but you know what? It's a challenge that's pretty easily met. So it's a competition and it's a research project. All right, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so it's a competition and it's a research project, but tell me more. All right, well, there's categories, and this is how you're going to actually deliver your project. Okay, you're going to choose between one of these 5 categories: a website, a performance, a documentary, a paper, or an exhibit. That means you are going to make a website. You are going to perform a project. You are going to create a documentary. You are going to write a paper, or you are going to build an exhibit. That's the form that your project is going to take. Those are the categories. They can be done in either groups of up to 5 kids or individuals, with the exception of a paper, which is only an individual category. You've all seen websites. You know what a website is supposed to look like. You've all watched a performance on television. You've watched performances all the time. You've watched documentaries. You know what is expected in a documentary. You've read wonderful papers. You've read wonderful articles. You've read wonderful books. You know what a paper is supposed to look like. And you've probably been to a museum, so you know what a museum exhibit is supposed to look like. The expectation is the higher up in this competition you go, the more similar your project should look like a polished, adult-made project. And I know what you're probably thinking at this point. I can't do that. Yeah, actually, you can. One of the reasons I love History Fair so much is it's amazing to watch what kids are actually capable of doing. I teach 6th grade U.S. history. My 6th grade students can create some fabulous projects way above beyond what I would expect them to be able to do at this age. You are capable of making a wonderful exhibit. You are capable of writing a wonderful paper. You are capable of making a wonderful documentary, performing something, or making a website. This is not something that you should look at as being overwhelming, because it isn't. All right, one of the questions I get from parents all the time is, how long is this project going to take? How much effort is my child expected to put into this project? This is a long-term research project. It's going to take the bulk of the semester. This is not something you're going to do 2 days before the semester ends, while your teacher is giving you some free time to turn in all of your missing work. You don't have time to do it. You don't have time the weekend before the semester ends to throw something together. That is not what this project is. This is going to take an entire semester. To do this properly, this is going to take some time. And that's why I want you to choose a project, a topic that is of interest to you. So that will give you the incentive to just keep working on it. You're already so curious about this topic. You just want to dive more and more and more and get deeper into the project. So this is a semester-long research project. Now, one of the problems with this being a big project is that's one of the reasons your teacher may not know much about this. Teachers don't have time in their curriculum to devote to a semester-long research project. So, and a lot of times the teachers just don't want to mess with this. So your teacher may not have all the details you want, which is why you're here. So it's at this point in the conversation with parents, with students alike, that I usually end up to this point. And they say, okay, so where can I get some more information about what is expected on this project? You told me it's a competition. You told me it's a research project. You told me it's a rather long research project. You told me that there are categories that they have to choose from to create their project. But where do I get the information? Where do I get all the details? All the details are located on NHD.org. Now, this is a big website. This is a very involved website. The entire History Fair project has a rule book. And the rule book, last time I looked at the rule book, it was 79 pages long. Are you going to print out a 79-page rule book? Well, you know what? You might want to. But you definitely want to save it. And you want to read through it to find out exactly what part of the rule book you need to look at so you know what the details are. I'll give you an example. If you make build an exhibit that is 8 feet tall, your project's not going to go anywhere because it exceeds the maximum amount of height that is allowed in a project. So you need to know what the parameters are. If you create a documentary that is 15 minutes long, it's not going anywhere. It's too long. You need to know what is expected in each category. So NHD.org, the rule book, is going to be crucial. How do you create your project? Well, it's all on NHD.org, but again, that's a gigantic website. The purpose of my videos is to take this big project and break it down into smaller chunks. And then from the smaller chunks, we'll look at this piece by piece by piece. So, until next time, Heffron on History.